Hey dudes, it's your friend, the Reverend Pirate Frog. Come join me in the circle with my bearded brother, Howlingbuds, the poet laureate himself, Stoney Alpinist, and of course, the better half of Frapple and my friend, Johnny Apple. Pass to the left and let's have some fucking fun.
A way to just spring that on me. All right, this is Howling Reloaded. I am going to be each one of the co-hosts. They're not here tonight. It's just me, so you get to hear. No, I'm just joking. Unfortunately, you get to listen to me lead this because Article 13, Section 4, bullet point 2 of my contract says 1 out of every 2 years that I am a co-host, I have to host this. And I almost got out of it with the clause that if one of the co-hosts is late, then I get to get out of it. But then he showed up. But I wouldn't miss this. This is a perfect one to lead because we got a special guest. We got Big Green Guy on. How you doing?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
What up, fucker?
You haven't been introduced, Johnny. Shut the fuck up.
Johnny, how are you doing? What grinds your gears?
Great. I hate frogs all of a sudden.
You son of a bitch.
Wow.
Look at that. I'm a hypocrite.
Whoa. Well, after that dagger in your heart, how are you feeling, Rev?
Oh, I'm always welcome. Welcome, Jesus. Sorry. I'm always wonderful. I wanted to say you're doing such a wonderful job leading it.
Oh, thank you. The best 30
You're
seconds
welcome.
of radio ever. How you doing, Stoney?
Oh man, I just love watching the show here, man. This is great. This is fantastic.
What a shit show, huh?
Everyone's in rife mode tonight.
Howling, I'm so proud of you for hosting.
That's how we like them.
I'm excited to listen to this episode. Would contribute very little, but I do want to point out that I'm not a fan of the color of our names, and since you're leading, I think that's your fault. Looks like a yellowish highlighter color.
Yeah, that's my favorite color. You can also suck a dick again, dude. Why are you fucking shitting on me today, man?
Highlighter yellow green is your favorite color.
No, fluorescent yellow, and this was as close as I could get.
All right, I'll allow it because
Day
I
glow.
have no choice.
Green.
There you go.
There's green.
This is great radio. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great. So I forgot right before we started recording, you were talking about the liquor, lime, sour thing. That's frog?
I'd like to. I think you should. Yeah, let's give a little more backstory. I wasn't talking about liquor. Just like, hey guys.
No,
I know. I don't drink, but let's talk about this lime liqueur. No, I'm smelling this frogception, this V5 that I literally just took a huge whiff, and it's like a sour lime liqueur, and it's amazing. I don't know.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I think they should replace all green apple flavors personally with this lime. But that's just, I mean, that's Mars kind of plan.
Green apple doesn't belong in
Mars
anything.
Company sucks. They
Oh,
don't
shit.
know
I'll
what's good for them.
I'll agree with that. I'm sure they're terrible people.
I like
but
that green. I like that granny apple
Lime.
sour apple taste. I like that one.
That was when they fucking went back to the lime because people fucking listen. If people bitch, they get their ways nowadays. It's like the cancel culture canceled fucking green apple, and I hate
don't
it.
think you can.
And fucking the frogs over here cheering up the lime like a fanboy, like woo!
Wasn't lime the
Cancel
original
culture.
one?
Yes, lime was the original one. Also, don't. I wasn't. First of all, I wasn't complaining, or I just don't eat Skittles to begin with. But I wasn't like writing Mars. But I will say, I don't think YAG should start a precedent by allowing cancel culture and Skittles to start a conversation when Howling is leading for the first time. Let us exploit this sweet moment. So let's come together, Johnny.
Once every 2 years.
And unite against our common enemy.
He seemed a little nervous. I was helping him. I'm breaking the ice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks.
He seemed a little nervous, maybe because
what are
we
you
were
smoking?
motherfucking
Bring us
people.
back down.
Circle us back to it, man. Circle us back to it. Yeah. Wow.
What you got going on, Stoney?
Oh man, so I accidentally almost made it through an entire cone that I received that has a little bit of deliciousness in it from the I can't even think of the doggone name of it right now. It's that quite delicious. It's the George's root beer. So it's the one that's been on everyone's tongue, and I really wanted to be able to get an opportunity to taste it. I've been, wanting to try and pull it apart. I know it's been, everyone's kind of mysterious about it. So I have been puffing on that before I got to the show. I was hoping to only maybe make it through about 30 or 40% of it because it's quite sedative for me. But I accidentally smoked almost all of it. So I'm not even really sure what time it is or where I am or what we're doing.
Don't smell and smoke.
Yeah, I mean, all I can feel on my face is a smile. So I think
Don't you hate when you accidentally smoke? I do it all the fucking time, and it's just ruining my life.
It just kind of caught me off guard. I was waiting for the email on the porch and just kind of looking off in the sky. It's the most incredible, beautiful moon that I get to look at all the time. So, I was out there staring at it. It's full and bright, and hopefully I'll get a chance to see it again later on tonight. But, I was out there and I was just lost in the train of thought. And I was like, oh shit, I smoked this whole damn thing. I was a little bit late running into the show, but I wasn't the late one. So, but yeah, Johnny's got it. And we were talking a little bit before about it. So I want to hear your impressions on it before I start to lay mine out. So,
I was going to ask you, was this your first joint of the day?
Was it mine? Yes. No.
Okay. So my theory was it was your first joint of the day, so it probably hit you harder. This was not my first joint of the day. It's my second. I had one before work. It's not sedative to me. Not at all. Normally a full cone like that, I'd be good, but I'm gonna light another one.
You're not driving tonight. It's okay.
I cannot, even if I was. I cannot. I wouldn't. Allegedly. I can't pinpoint the terps. I'm all over the place on it.
But you started to go somewhere and I stopped you because sometimes anytime you taste anything and you're trying to figure it out, we did it all the time in wine. It was just the kind of the way that I was taught. Like it's free association. So it's like usually it's the first thing that you go to, and it's like something that you kind of it may be completely kind of out there. And some people are like, oh, that's just crazy. What am I thinking? Why would I even mention that? 9 out of 10 times it's either something adjacent to that or around that or part of a little experience of things. And that's where I stopped you. So tell me.
My initial thought was antique store. Like when when you walk into an antique store, it has just like this aroma. Like when you open the old cabinets and it just has this, I don't know. It's like a musky under, I don't know, man. Like I got a brand new metal cabinet and it almost smells like that thing, a brand new antique metal cabinet. So it was an antique fucking thing. And when I put it in the truck, I was like, Jesus, this thing smells like an antique store. And Jess said the same thing. She's like, yeah, it does. That's weird. And that's why I was just like, man, that kind of is where it hit me. But I'm tough.
That's really good because I'm going to hold you to that one because I'm going to come back to it. And I think that's why I got so animated, smiled when you said it, because there's probably a reason, and it actually will illustrate everything that I just said. So when I did it, how I did it, because I really wanted to pull it apart because I know it's been mysterious and that everyone that's had a chance to try it has been like, I can't figure this out. There's something to it. So I took what I had and I kind of loosened it up in the cone so that I could get a good airflow through it. And I cut a little bit larger of a hole. Yeah, for a dry pull. I cut a little bit larger of a hole than I would normally so that I could really get some air through it. And I really sat with it for like probably a good 2 to 3 minutes because I couldn't figure it out. It was just like there's something that I was right there with everybody. And then I got it down to a couple things. What it went to straight for me, and it took me a little bit to kind of pen to it, was green cardamom. Green cardamom it's a spice. It's oftentimes used in Indian cuisine, but it's got this really earthy kind of floral scent to it. It's almost kind of like a little piney in a sense to it, right? So I'm like, okay, I got that one. The next big one was matcha tea. So if you've ever had matcha, it's like a very earthy, full flavor experience of a tea, but it's very green and vegetal.
I also, I have the Rise mushroom coffee. So I've been drinking a lot of mushroom coffee with these same earthy-ish undertones.
Okay. The one that jumped out, the terpene that jumped out at me right away was linalool. Because it's one that it just is always. I think that's what took me to the sedative component of it, because that terpene connected, at least in my brain and in my endocannabinoid system, and really calms me. Like that to me is like just takes all the weight off my shoulders, my face relaxes. So I keyed right in on the linalool of it. I went digging around for like the green matcha and the green cardamom, because the green cardamom, like that one's a hard one, unless like you sometimes will get it in some teas, you'll get it in, and that's why it's sometimes it crosses over with that matcha. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're in that sort of same vein together. And so I went digging for it, as to what the terpenes are, right, that are connected to, like associated with green matcha, associated with the these really green vegetal flavors. It took me to geraniol, right? So it's like that kind of flowery component, the linalool, and then like the beta caryophyllene, which is that peppery, musky stuff that kind of just lays underneath everything. And so I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense to me. It all kind of comes together. It's really big in flavor, but the linalool stands out for me, and really is probably the most medicinal part to it, and got me to that sort of flavor profile. So,
I mean, I don't know if you can see, if I can get it to focus. You could see the fucking ring going on. There you go.
mm-hmm.
Look at that ring.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
it's waxy as shit.
Now, green guy, is how, from what your experiences with it, like, is it anything similar to like Johnny and Stoney? Like, because when I think root beer, I'm not thinking of like old antique shop and things like that. So I'm curious what
you don't think think green tea matcha
get that.
with
I get
root
the
beer?
root beer float, cream soda.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I get. I definitely get a root beer float kind of a when I'm smoking it.
I'm not getting
Both sound
any
lovely,
cream.
though.
I'm
No
terrible
cream.
with like
I did.
picking out scents and things
got
like
cream?
that. Though.
It's a I think it
Are
comes
you
from
getting
like
green tea though, the matcha? Because that is one of my favorite flavors of like in general.
I don't know as if I mean there's some green tea aspects to it, yeah, but I don't know if it's specifically matcha or not. But there's definitely it's very earthy and musky undertones. Like I'm definitely not getting like a for sure punched in the face root beer. But I am getting the punched in the face with like a musky, earthy, undertony. Yeah.
So Rev, when you love matcha, you've had the like real matcha service where it's done with the little, brush and the whole 9 yards, where it really kind of foams,
like,
right. So you know how it changes that sort of like real thin linear green, like if you drink green tea, it's kind of really singular plane of flavor, right?
Yeah.
But matcha is like drinking an
super
espresso.
complex.
Yeah, it's like an espresso versus like a drip coffee.
That's why, in my personal
that's where
opinion,
that dairy comes from
Yeah.
for me. That creaminess.
That's how I was going to say.
right?
That's why I really like matcha ice cream is almost phenomenal, because it's way creamier than you would think it would be. Because it's like a lot of people don't think it would be sweet, but I mean, you mix anything with ice cream, it is. But it is actually like it's such a great base for just to do a lot. So I'm really intrigued, because if memory serves correct, I got root beer.
Well, so here's where I think there's
more
a tie.
Closely related to BGG, which is something I hope I never say again.
But I think the green cardamom and that profile speaks to the sarsaparilla root. And so when you take creaminess and you take that spiciness or that
makes a lot of sense.
That profile that
does make a lot of sense.
That feel, because that's what that sort of uncertain, because when you drink root beer, like you ask 7 out of 10, if you ask 10 people, 7 out of 10 people, like what's the flavor of root beer? They're like, well, it's root beer. Well, did they know it's sarsaparilla? Did they know that there's cassia bark, which is not quite cinnamon, but kind of is in there?
Yeah.
Like,
and then
no,
it
just tastes like root beer, right? And that actually goes, ready for this, Howler? That circles right back to where Johnny was saying. Like, it's an experience. It's like what I was saying in the very beginning of it. Like, sometimes when you need to figure something out, you got to have a starting point. And that starting point for you, Johnny, was walking in the door of an antique store. But if you go back to it, linalool, geraniol, pinene, and you're talking old wooden cabinets, that cabinet was probably built in the 40s, 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the main cleaning products were packed with in aromas in old people's homes, and all the oils that were taking care of the stuff that they bought and really cared for?
Cardamom and
Geraniol,
marigolds.
linalool, geraniol, all these things. Linalool is put into diapers. It's an aroma that's put into tissues.
I know. I got a whole roll of it here for my
Really, they actually,
I would have used any example but diapers. 'Cause now all I can think of is diapers.
Yeah, the prepackaged, diapers. I mean, clean diapers.
Yeah, I know the smell.
Yeah.
They're because they use it as a masking for the plastics. If you didn't put an aroma to them, they would smell like the plastics. And so they actually add terpenes, true extracted terpenes, and they add geraniol, which smells like flowers, a general flower floral smell. They add the linalool because it always adds soothing. So that's why it's in like shampoos and soaps and candles and all those sorts of things, because the aroma itself is so closely to lavender, but lavender is so expensive versus the linalool.
What the fuck just happened?
So, BGG,
that's so smart.
What are you smoking on? And I expect as detailed of a report as this.
Jesus, I know.
I got 15 minutes to give it. I'm actually I'm smoking on one of the freebies that's going to be in the box set that's coming out. It's actually the Purple Orbeez times Fenrir. I don't have a specific name for it. That's just what it is, but that's what I'm smoking on tonight.
Yeah,
it put you down for the fucking count. You're awfully quiet, like tucked in a corner there. Your eyes are going.
You guys
I'm thinking definitely. I'm thinking listening to us for any amount of time has that effect on people. So don't worry about offending us.
No, for sure.
So this box set, I know you were on.
So I put you guys on before I go to bed every night, so I'm not used to this.
Yeah, but that's just so you can see my face for that moment before bed. We all know.
Before he wishes he was asleep and they could end.
Everybody needs to see the apple before they twinkle themselves to sleep.
Kick off my nightmares the right way.
I need to know who you're censoring yourself for. That's who I need to know. The person that you're trying to pull the rug over there.
No, listen, you said it on the fucking episode 100 that Johnny curses too much. So I am no longer gonna curse on this show.
Time out. First of all, there's so many layers to that. You swore immediately and you're swearing.
Fuck you. Listen, this is my fucking story, man.
Second, I never said Johnny had to stop swearing. And 3, I believe I ended that with, you can say what the fuck you want.
I will not. No more.
All right. We have big important news here, right? So in April, BGG teased this. He was talking about Frogception and everything, but then he teased that there's a little wolf pack coming out sometime, and he has been teasing it all summer, and I want to hear everything about it. So this pack comes out September 26th, I think at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Is that right? Don't you do the oil thing?
Nerd.
Yes, it's so that it will be 7:10 on the East Coast, close to 4:20 on the West Coast.
Don't make them happy. Don't appease them.
The key is we're always happy.
So, if I recall, I re-listened to that because you said something that was so profound. It's Fenrir is my most favorite cultivar so far to work with, and that's why I had to do this pack. And I'm interested, like, you ran, 12 different crosses? In the end, it got narrowed 19. To like 12? 19. Holy shit. That's way more than I thought.
So you ran narrowed down to 7.
Wow. So, well, you have 4. That's the main strains. And that's, you're doing Fenrir F5. right? And then
Yes, I don't include that in the 7 though.
Oh, okay. So then what happened to the couple other ones? Because you're going to do a few as the main strains, a couple freebies. Did one of them get like left out as like a later thing?
Yes.
Awesome. So how do you...
there's 2 of them actually that were left out as potentially a later thing. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting because Fenrir will live on. I could get you to go into why wolves and frogs don't cross too well, but we'll save that for another time. How did you narrow it down? Like,
they did not play nice together.
So what happened? Like, did they just become real sensitive to everything, or just didn't have any vigor, or just wanted to end life?
It not quite that dramatic. No, it's just, sometimes you make a cross and you're hopeful for it, but in the end, it just doesn't really add anything new, or it's nothing special about it. Nothing that really jumps out as being like, all right, this is one of them that I definitely want to see.
And you've been going about it so long, and I mean that's simple. That's a simple process, right? I mean that's just it does no feelings hurt. It's just
it
takes the time.
It doesn't. It's much you want something to work. It doesn't always work.
Yeah.
So from all those strains, did you go into this set like with what you wanted this set to represent, and that's the kind of crosses that you picked, or was it just whatever was the best of those was the keepers?
Well, initially with the 19, I grew all of them out, and I knew right away there were a few of them just from the smells and the structures and stuff. I'm like, okay, these aren't going to really work out. So I was able to really narrow it down to my favorite 7, and then I decided to grow them out again. And all 7 of them could easily have been.
Can we bring this to layman's terms here? Because I'm so fucking lost. I know we're talking about Fenrir here, but
I told you
it
was the George's root beer.
I was going to say just a second ago, weren't you saying this isn't going to put me on my ass? You are now laying down on the couch.
Yeah,
it's because I'm fucking lost. It's because I'm lost. It's because I'm literally sitting here and it's like, well, I don't need to fucking be here because they're talking about like X, Y, Z times 4, 5, 19. I'm lost. You got to fucking Johnny it down for me.
Come on back, Johnny. What are you lost on?
So what are we talking about here?
We're talking about the wolf pack.
Fenrir cross. The wolf pack is just a Fenrir cross, and there was 19 of them.
He started out with 19 crosses, and he narrowed it down to
for the wolf pack.
That he was trying to figure out what strains were going to be in it.
Fenrir is the reversed that I used to make all of the cross. So she's Fenrir is the daddy. And the dad. I guess she's the dad mom.
She's the dad mom. Okay, yes. I am tracking. So the wolf pack is literally a dad mom. It all makes sense now. Now I understand why Howling's so excited. He's a dad mom too.
Oh shit. You ass. Do you have like is there one of them?
I had sent you something.
You did. You asshole. You made me wait all this time.
Did
what?
You have it in front of you to open? Because
I do.
I think what you can quickly is up, and then maybe it would give you an idea of what you can talk about.
Okay.
So we're live box opening here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch our video.
Here, I'll turn my camera around to see what Howling's seeing. No, wait, that doesn't work that way. Maybe his camera will show us what the fuck he's looking at.
It's kind of like tell me you trim about telling me trim as I use Chickamauga's scissors to open this box. It's the only scissors I could find.
Howling, I gotta ask, since we're just killing time here as you open this, when you were getting ready for this hosting duty, did you want to stay as hidden as possible? You're like, I gotta go black on black on black in black.
There you can see my head now. You get the glare of the light off of it.
That's the kind of spot.
By the way, because we're not live anymore, if you did need to see this, it is only available on Spotify, but you can't see much. and he's laughing
I am.
hysterically here. We can't see why, but this is great for news radio.
Hey,
I'm
your host. Show you.
I'm your host, Johnny Apple. Joining me tonight,
As
you
always,
go
is
in
the
Reverend.
real close. We can just talk about everything he's opening.
You can throw him on a screen.
Hang on.
Howling. What are you looking at?
Hang on. I have to get it.
Like,
Okay,
we
so
can't
let's.
hang on. We're recording. Hang
I'm
on.
trying to get it all.
It's like you're getting up to get to the
Listen,
refrigerator and then come
motherfucker.
back
Ooh,
and grab an
there we
apple.
go.
Shut up. We got
Oh
shit
my
to go
God.
down.
No way.
Yep.
Is that
Yes
a puppet?
way. It is.
Now your hand
So I
can
gotta
be
figure out.
your hand can be a furry too.
This is great. Every circle now will have the wolf spotlight. Okay?
Hey, look.
We'll figure out a different segment to do each
Every
time.
episode has BGG in it.
Aw.
See, I put him right there by the mic, so every time I spit, it hits him right in the face.
This is okay. So let me go
That's
through
really
this.
nice
All
of
right.
you.
Is there a particular spot?
You were there when I did it.
start with?
I think you should just
All right, we're gonna start going through this.
Well, the giveaway
There
winner
is-
box is in there.
Yep. That's the 1 of 1 pack. I'll show off.
Yes.
Who
no,
won
the-
that?
The 1 of 1 is
Woody?
yours. The other, the white one is the 1 of 20.
Wait, what? No, what? No, I'm glad I asked. Oh shit! So let's do this one first. The one
It's like
of
a little
20.
mini Christmas for him.
I know.
It
It's so
is.
exciting.
You
All right,
don't
listen, you're gonna
understand.
listen because this is a
The 1 of 1
podcast.
howling.
I think the people listening would appreciate some description.
I am.
as to what
So
the
there
fuck is going
so
on?
this is the 1 of 20 wolf pack that
Yes.
was given away at our 100th episode, and so we're gonna get this shipped out.
Who won that?
Woody
We just
won.
Woody did, yeah.
Yeah, Woody did. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Woody won this. So this is going to be coming out to you. I'm going to get this shipped out in the next couple days, but I am
Congratulations.
taking a look. Yeah, congrats on that one. That's an awesome win.
I
And
just
am-
quick interjection. Did we give away this other stuff?
No, I don't know
The
what
sticky?
fuck-
Fair enough. I gave away the sticky, yeah, but
Right.
weren't we supposed to? That's better.
We
for
got a
off
bunch
the
of
air.
shit.
Never
We got to
mind.
go.
Yeah. We
All
got to
right.
give away more stuff.
We got to catch up on this. Okay, so I am going through the box of 1 of 1. So I'm really intrigued by this, which it did come with. We got each of the crosses, Howling's dessert.
No.
Strawberry Wolf. Yes. Is this one Fenrir?
Yes.
All right. And then this one, I am really excited about this, the Wolfberry. And I love that there is like a fruit component to all of these. Is there any fruit like berries or anything in Fenrir?
No, it has a heavy-bodied red wine flavor to it.
Nice. Okay.
No,
So
I
then
don't want to
go-
be pedantic or anything, but aren't there wine? Doesn't some wine notes like red wine have berry flavor?
Yeah,
Isn't that
a
like
lot
a
of it.
big? Yeah.
Is it one that does it get nice and dark and inky and purple?
Some does definitely. It's definitely not a fruity kind of a wine.
And does the flower? Is it the wolfberry? How pink purple does it get? How does it go into senescence?
So some of all of them actually can turn purple.
Really?
Fenrir, maybe 50% of them will turn purple. The Howlingbuds to kind of different colors. The wolfberry, again, it could have some of that purpley kind of colors towards the end of flower. The strawberry wolf, not so much. That one kind of leaned more towards the strawberry than Fenrir on that. So, which I was okay.
Now, I've seen a lot of pictures of people growing them, and I know I know my fellow thin leaf prophets will agree.
Jesus.
They look to have a lot of narrow leaf in these genetics. I know Groganic was the name I was trying to say before I stumbled there. Called you out recently. Did you do that on purpose, or was it pure happy accident?
No, actually, I would say the Howlingbuds and Fenrir died, or fat leaf side. Even the strawberry is probably like a 50-50. The wolfberry maybe 60-40, leaning a little more indica or sativa rather. The two freebies, I would say one leans one way, one leans the other. So the pictures that I've shown before of that super thin leaf,
Yeah.
the space station orange times Fenrir,
And that
those are
doesn't have a
definitely
name.
leaning
Yeah.
thin leaf. It does not.
So we need to get some creative people to come up with a name and bother BGG with it until he either gives up or blocks us all. Both interesting.
So these two freebies, they just say SW.
And I don't know
OW.
if you saw on the pack that I sent you, Rev, but
I have it right now.
yeah, I am lagging a little bit. Yeah, I
You
had
are
sent you some
way
scenes of that
behind.
particular one.
Yeah.
It's all good. We're trying to make it work. The
It's
Thin
all-
Wolf is the one that I got, which I believe was the Space Station Orange and by Fin.
Yes.
Fin. I can't say that word. Jesus.
So is that the SW?
Yes.
That's exciting. I do
Yes,
get
that
excited for
looks
narrow
amazing.
leaf.
Dude, they're beautiful. I know that you don't. It's not the medicine you need, but BGG, some of his narrow leaves are just monsters. And even, I mean, anything that he has given me has the potential to obviously go huge. But some of those narrow leaves, man.
And then what is OW?
Odin's Wolf.
That is the purple Orbeez times.
Oh,
Fenrir.
that's right. The purple Orbeez. Oh, these are exciting. Because these
How
are
did
going
you
to
get purple Orbeez from
But yes, it was you, Johnny.
what? Was it OW? How do you get fucking
Orbeez. Oh. So, I mean,
It's purple Orbeez? Oh.
Yeah, it should have been
Oh.
POW.
Oh.
Maybe that's why he didn't do it.
and you know what? I have
And,
to take a moment. There is this card that he wrote so lovingly. It says, "Thank you for always rescuing the circle and watching out for Rev and Johnny. You're an amazing wolf and a best friend of mine." I'm joking. He did say some really lovely things, and BGG, I'm really appreciative of this because
That's not what it says at all.
Yeah, I was. First of all, I was actually listening, going, "Yeah, no, that makes sense." I mean, you do.
I was
put up
thinking
with
the
a
same
lot.
thing. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It didn't
Track.
catch me until I was like, until he
Track.
said you outed yourself. I was full on.
I
board.
know.
was
I
like,
would have been like, "Yeah, no, dude, you do deserve a lot of credit for putting up with this
sounds on
shit."
Part, yeah, sounds about right.
You're the logical, smart one that has to clean up our mess on a regular
I
basis.
am so super stoked because I started, and I've actually really enjoyed it. And we can talk about our gardens a little bit. Anyways, I got the BGG tent going. That's about all I'll go into right now, and it's particularly for these 4 strains.
No,
So I'm
we
gonna
can
run
talk a
all
little
4.
bit about the goddamn banner that you're hanging.
Ah,
I think that deserves a little
It
bit
looks-
of a conversation.
You know, if someone made a green booster bar to put in there, I was going to buy one just to make it green in the tent. And
They don't have a green one
They may, but not through the lighting company for my light.
that you wanted to. Yeah, I understand.
So I wanted to keep it all Grandmaster LED because they all kind of daisy chain and they can be controlled with the controller, which is fucking amazing. It's worth every penny now that I got these other booster bars. But yeah, that I was really upset that I couldn't hang his banner last time because things got out of hand really quick and I couldn't get anywhere in that tent to try to hang it. So I just
Created
left
a
it out.
forest that you couldn't walk through,
Yeah.
essentially.
And so I was really excited to try to get this tent going because I knew like the wolf pack coming out. And I mean, this is just super generous and I'm very thrilled to get to actually a head start on running these, because I was like, oh crap, I still got to wait till like the drop and shipping out, and I was like getting kind of all bummed because like I'm getting this tent and getting so excited, but it's like it's in my hands. This is going to be an awesome run. I have it. If anything, I'm going to fuck it up by messing with too many parameters at once, but we'll see how I can get.
You
through
did
this
say
one.
you were running every one, right?
I am running
that
every one of them.
Okay, now
Not the freebies, because
what a BS
they'll go in
classification.
small pots. The freebies will go in the small ones.
I wanted to say before you get started, also, I beg BGG not to include the seeds, because I would think it would be hilarious if you opened up this box and there was nothing in it.
I got the seeds and the golden ticket, so I mean, it's
I know
awesome.
he's too kind, but I want to say I really need to put a little pressure on you, because when I grew the Frogception box set that he was kind enough to do for me, every single seedling I had got attacked by ants.
Oh, no.
So you really need to step it up a little bit for Yag, so that we can so we don't look like complete amateurs. Luckily I have Frogception going now, thankfully, to redeem myself, and I have plenty of them to grow in the meantime. But yes, please do better.
I am, and these stickers, I love. I'm just looking at these
stickers.
Minus
the Howling one.
No, these are so good, and I just love like BGD like injects his artistic side into a lot of these things and his thoughts, and just I love living through other people with that, because I am not artistic one bit, but I like seeing the process that they go through. And he's been like teasing out different ideas and stuff through the summer, and I just holding the stickers. It's awesome just to see it all come through. BGG, are you with this box set? You're going to do the golden ticket again in one of them, right? I think that's what I saw on the site.
Yes, there'll be one of them that, and what it is there'll be a little round gold disc in the bottom of one of the tins, and on the back of that it will say golden ticket, and it'll have a number on it so that I can verify. And that whoever gets that is going to get a free pack of everything I release for a year.
Whoa,
that's crazy. You release
that is a Willy
Wonka
too. For sure. That is a Willy Wonka for sure, man.
Jesus, dude.
That's like a built-in archive.
Dude, you're gonna overwhelm someone's seed bank very quickly. I can think, I mean, just this past year, you're at, do you know how many strains exactly? Because if you've got these two box sets, and that's at least, you said there's 7, so 7, and then there's 5 there. Damn, dude, you're over, at least my guess is you're over 15.
If I include the stuff in the box set, which Matt Fratt was actually the winner last year of the golden ticket. I want to say it's like a $600+ value. Is like, wow. I think he got 15, maybe 15 packs of seeds.
Yeah, and they're all killer, obviously, but they're just, and it's not like you include just 2 seeds in a pack. You always include a lot, and you're more than generous with your price to begin with. So you're it's always a win.
I mean, I'm a little bummed that the Willy Wonka chocolate bar doesn't come with it as well, but that's okay. But that's awesome. And it's like the anticipation. It's the anticipation of it. Like, someone out there is going to get this thing, and it's just waiting. And I think was it last time or the one before? I forgot how many times he's done this. It's the first one that he did it. It was, I think, a bunch of sets sold. Was it the Viking Feast? A bunch of sets sold, and then no one got the golden ticket yet. And then it was like some second, it was like a later purchase or something. And it was just that anticipation for it. I love that little game. So that was pretty fun. On the other hand, BGG put this toy, this like stress ball in here, and all I can think of is I want to hear what it sounds like bouncing off of Rev's forehead, and I don't know why.
Why does that stress ball look like an apple?
It is not. It's green.
I wanted to interject a little bit because we have BGG, and I know he's experiencing a little bit of a lag, so don't blame him. But Johnny, we talked briefly about the apple that you got from him. Do you want to talk a little bit more about? I think it was overrun because it was the 100th episode. Oh, fair enough.
No, I don't. I want to talk about. Do you remember G-Fog?
Yeah.
Godfather OG. When I was
Yeah.
growing it. Do you remember the terpene profile on that beautiful freaking thing? Do you remember?
I cannot off the top of my head. I know
muffin like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally have a plant in my garden that smells exactly like that plant again.
What is it?
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to fucking say.
Oh, come on.
Give credit to
No.
Blueberry sauce, man.
Oh, blueberry sauce. Oh, that's in my top 5. I love that strain.
Yeah, when so they're maybe week 4-ish now, if I had to guess. They're done stretching, and they're starting to put on their fucking profiles, and I buried my nose in it, and I went, oh boy, I for sure got blueberry on that one. So I called Jess in, and I said, babe, you got to smell this one. She's like, what is that? What is that? I was like, you smelled it before, right? She's like, I know. Blueberry? I was like, Jesus, I knew it. Man, it's there. So
they put on some weight. That blueberry sauce is the one I went into my tent and it broke in half because like it took some of the side branches just got so heavy it tore the plant in half. It didn't skip a beat. The rest of the plant still grew fantastically, but it put on weight like overnight and just started breaking.
So this plant was female. Well, it was the only female in the other tent. So she's the one that I literally took my hands in and fucking uprooted out of my big bed and fucking transplanted just like that into the other big bed. It was the blueberry sauce. Gave her a week, flipped them to fucking flower, and she just went right on fucking happy as ever. And true to sauce form, she's short and squatty. But I flipped early enough in this tent, and everything is just it's fucking money. Now it's time to go in there and defold because I got high humidity problems. But yeah, I was fucking pretty stoked to fucking finally get that blueberry terpene back in my fucking garden. So the only thing I did is I didn't take a cut. So I might have to re-veg that one.
Yeah, blueberry sauce.
How do they re-veg BGG?
I've re-vegged the sauce a couple times just to see if it can be done. And the applesauce, when I was in F2 of the applesauce, I did that one. I have not re-vegged the blueberry or the white sauce.
Now, re-veg is when you, in flour, flip it back to like 18.6.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's the yield on the second time around? Like, what's the yield on that?
Well, what you would do is you let it go back into veg in 18.6, and then you take a cut from that, and then you're done. I've done it with Hella Jelly. I don't know how many times. Like, I think the only chance I have at saving my Hella Jelly right now, well, not really the only chance, but the only way I have Hella Jelly right now is to take a cut from fucking flour. So I'm trying to monster crop, and she's done it before as long as she's healthy, because I had an unhealthy plant that I took fucking cuttings from and was unable to successfully root. So I took there was like maybe week 3 of flower because it's outside. So I took a fucking cut, and that's my problem is it's outside and it's in a big ass container outside. But I took a fucking monster crop of that and just stuck it in. And the first fucking like week it was laying down like this, and then it picked itself up. And then I was like, oh, cool. It's got to be doing something, right? So my fucking Johnny S started digging around, didn't see a single fucking root. And it was like, man, I didn't keep going any lower, but it was like, man, I thought for sure I'd start to see like the calyx forming on it and whatever else, but I'm just going to leave it alone and fucking let it sit there. The other option I have is to like literally dig up the fucking one outside and put it in something and then bring it in to fucking re-veg. Like, but dig it up out of the fucking ground to do it. So she's not gone, but yeah.
That's kind of crazy bringing them. It's kind of like bringing them back from the dead almost. Like they're marched to death. It's like you bring them right back and say, no, you're not done yet.
It's
That's
crazy,
pretty-
man. It's incredible. And I've monster crapped her almost every time I've taken a successful cut from her has been from a fucking monster crop, except for the first initial saving. And maybe when I think when I gave Dad, it wasn't from monster crop. Maybe it was though, but like they're incredible. So it's going to be easy to do with this blueberry sauce, and I'm fucking excited for it. So,
Cool.
yeah.
So BGG, you go back to the wolf pack, and I'm gonna run all the 4 main strains in the same time,
Issues
2
with
in
being
each
able
bed.
to bring it back.
Hey. So I'm wondering, I have to look more into these 4 strains. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get screwed and like you get 2 of them that want to, and it would be my luck that they're 2 in opposite beds that want to get really tall, and then the other 2 are just going to be short little bushy things. I'm wondering how they grow compared to each other.
As he just types in the chat,
Okay,
he's not going to
so,
talk anymore.
I would say the strawberry wolf and fen very very
Jesus,
similar.
it is that bad.
Howling's the blueberry one is going to be a stretcher on you.
Okay. So I'm a little bit scared because after growing NDT and looking at the stretch that was on that thing, I'm getting a little scared of the stretch on BGG plants, and so I'm a little gun shy. But we'll work it out. I'm not used to running a single fixed light. I've usually had modular lights, so I can adjust heights to different things. And yeah, I'm not that skilled, and I grow my plants right into the light now. But so all right. I'll play with them. They're going to be in there, and I'm going to train them out and do whatever I need to. I'm super stoked. Thanks again, man.
Oh yeah, I just tried the Frogception V5.
They will handle anything you throw at them for sure.
Don't tempt me. I did just get more lights.
Tell us about it.
Oh well, I got the so I have the Grandmaster LED 4x4 light, which is just, it worked wonderfully last time, but of course, like in true fashion, if something works, I got to change it. So what I'm doing now is I bought their blue wavelength and their 2200K red booster bars, and I talked with the guy from Grandmaster, and he gave me recommendations of how to run them. So I'll run the blue one with my main light in veg and up until like the first couple of weeks of stretch, and then switch to the red one. And then like the last 2 weeks of flowers, run both of them. Apparently it just starts bringing out different responses to it. And I was actually surprised. I've never been under an HPS light. I've just seen like YouTube videos of it or pictures, and that yellow hue that's in the room. Well, that's what these 2200K booster bars are just running. It's just this yellow hue in the room. And it's just like, it's kind of cool. It's different. Usually like this big white glaring light, and then it's just like this calm yellowish tint to everything. And it just, so anyways, that's a lot to say that I could really fuck up these plants, and we're going to see what happens.
Nah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that's going to be the case.
We'll see. I won't kill him, but we'll see where it goes.
Now I want to hear about this stupid fucking lime flavor.
I'm sorry, I was just enjoying my own little lime paradise over here on the West Coast. You guys can talk about lights and all the stuff that I don't quite understand anyway. And I'm over here sipping on a sweet lime drink. Hopefully this one doesn't end with as many negatives as the other guy. No, it is very, I honestly can say, which is very strange, that it's all I'm getting, right? Is that like sour lime all through, and I'm using a ball vape now, thanks to Tall, my homie, for helping me out. Toodle. I will keep calling him names, and because he's on the other coast. It is, but through the entire thing, I just get this sugary, sweet, sour, like alcoholic lime, and it's the most lime out of anything that I have tasted, and it's phenomenal. And now we've just got.
I wanted to get
distracting
to
me.
this. So yeah,
I know. Anywho, it was delicious. BGG, you must make these available. This is amazing stuff. Howling, take over for me.
No, so he put up the wolf mask on the video for anyone that's going to be watching it on Spotify. And he's been teasing this, and so he's been showing me the progression of like just I think he started with like spray foam over a skull or something, and it just is turned into this mask, and it's been awesome. So I did want to dig into that a little bit because like that's like another artistic form of something you have that I'm super envious of is your creativity when it comes to Halloween. And I think like last year, I think your whole family were zombies, I think, and took pictures in a forest, if I recall. And I'm just curious, like, what has made Halloween so special to do something like that?
So I think it's something my wife and I have been doing for quite a few years, and the kids last year was really the first year they got into it with us. We did do a Star Wars one, I think the previous year with all the kids, or maybe it was the year before. But now that the kids are all adults, we have a little extra money. We can, go a little more all making our costumes and putting the effort in and doing that kind of stuff. And it's an activity that both my wife we're going to keep doing it every year, and what we're potentially doing for next year already. So I'm excited for that. This year is going to be easy because my costume is pretty much all made. I just have to put it on, where in the past it's been makeup and different things I've had to do day of.
Now, is your wife also mostly done with her costume, or are you going to have to help out with that one?
She still has a good amount of work done. I think she's probably going to finish it up this weekend, doing pictures and stuff the following weekend.
And how does it look like? Because you have themes to these. Like, it's like it just over family dinner one night, you'd be like, oh, what are we fucking doing for Halloween this year? Or is there ever a time like you all want to be like something different? Is it, or you just really just all gravitate towards the same idea that year?
We started talking about what we were going to do last year for this year, and it's basically came down to like your classic horror movie characters. So Empire, my wife, me, we're going to do like a black and white clown, and then my oldest son and his girlfriend, I believe they're doing Frankenstein and Bride Frankenstein.
Oh, cool.
So we're kind of keeping with that theme here.
Now, does your sons inherit your creativity?
To some extent, definitely. I mean, my youngest son's a welder, so he does build things with his hands and do things like that. I remember when they were little, painting with them and doing different things and always being very creative, and they still do a lot of that creative stuff even on their own now, which is nice to see.
Yeah, it's I love those costumes. It beats the old white scrubs with black duct tape around it to make it look like you're a prisoner that I grew up wearing. But no, that's totally awesome. I was really interested to see like just where that came from, and the amount of work that you've put into that mask is awesome. So I appreciate seeing the little incremental steps with it. It's kind of cool because I just don't think like that of like if you told me I had to make a wolf mask, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing besides going out to Walmart and trying to find one. So
and that's why you spent so much on that furry one, right? Because you just
can't
beat the professional.
I couldn't find it. I looked around so I could wear it because you know what? We're talking about the wolf pack. It's a full moon out there right now, the harvest moon.
It's not.
What?
No, it's not a full moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
No way.
Yes, it is.
Oh, god damn it.
And there's supposed to be like a lunar eclipse or something.
No wonder I'm getting fucking boned.
Wait, I don't think that should affect your personal life, dude. What you and your chick do in the privacy of your bedroom should not be related to what the cycle the moon is currently in.
You would be surprised. You must not live with a woman.
I'm gonna tell Megan you said that.
Yeah. So, BGG, was there anything else you want to like? Oh, midgets count. Oh,
Only half as much.
We're all winning Megan over. I hope she doesn't listen to this episode.
Just so everyone knows, when he says midget, he means Ja Rule.
No, I will say, as a proud partner of a short person, it is something that we deal with in normal life. Her disability of being so very tiny. No, she doesn't listen to this, dude. I can guarantee it. She would laugh. She is going to the pop-up though, Halliburton Hayes pop-up.
That's gonna be such a sad time.
Yeah, for her.
Well,
she's gonna be pissed.
It
was funny because
Howling, have
we
you
were
and
talking.
Stoney met?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm the only one that actually meets people on this damn show.
Yeah.
Stoney does if given the opportunity. So I keep putting him in the boat with
the middle
you
fucking
two.
New York.
I would love to. My dream is to come into like see everybody. I even told BGG he could get me to go to that godforsaken state he calls home.
Hell?
Close enough. It's where the Celtics play.
Well, we'll have to figure out somewhere in the Midwest. I don't like want anyone coming to Chicago to visit me. We'll find somewhere better, and we'll just meet up there. We'll pretend that's home.
I very much want to go to Chicago though, because I've heard they have a great improv scene, and it would be cool to check out.
They do.
Yeah, but the pizza's fucked.
Yeah, but
you won't enjoy the food. But
you come here.
I don't think I'm going to find my vegan
find
pizza options anywhere.
We'll find some slices if you come here, Johnny.
You
can rate it however you want to. You can rate it however you want to.
Seriously
Listen,
though, I know
on a scale of 1 to bread, your pizza fucking is like bread, artisan bread.
Scale
it's like,
of 1 to bread.
That
might be my favorite scale of all time,
dude.
Johnny.
I'm not going to stand on the hill of Chicago deep dish pizza, brother. It's lasagna.
I don't know. I don't take a stance. I don't think I've ever. Well, I've never been to Chicago, so I've never had a.
You don't take a stance, my ass.
Yeah.
You take a stance every time we release an episode. I was going to say every Sunday, but our, life gets in the way. We take a hard stance, and that stance on YAG is pepperoni pizza is far superior to cheese. Just accept it. Acknowledge your new stance. BGG, we know as a lifelong vegetarian, loves bacon and pepperoni.
Yeah, I'm sure he's the first to talk.
Not lifelong, but no. I used to love pepperoni. I wish I could find some kind of substitute for pepperoni.
Yeah, because didn't your favorite sandwich used to be a French dip, or was it roast beef?
Isn't a French dip roast beef in a dip?
No, like an Italian or steak and cheese, something like that would have been my favorite sandwich.
Steak and cheese, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Now he thinks he's on a coast that can make.
But I'd put pepperoni on the steak and cheese.
Why did you go vegetarian? Was it that your heart was going to explode?
Because you put pepperoni on roast beef?
I started doing it for
pepperoni and steak and cheese.
For health reasons. Yeah, I started doing it for health reasons, yeah. And then I just continued doing it.
Are you strict?
Are we grilling our guests now?
No, I was just
answer for yourself.
Some people, I was just curious. Some people are like vegetarians, but they're not like strict about it. Like they'll have a fucking, if they feel like fucking having a fucking cheeseburger, they'll have one or something. You know what I mean?
I think those people are called ill-informed.
Well,
so they're vegetarian.
So that is every vegan on the fucking planet. If you want to go there,
well,
they're ill-informed too.
We can go into this. conversation of veganism. But I don't think that's why people listen.
Wait, you got to hate on a state. Isn't it time you hate on a state or something?
We'll bring that back another time. I've already trashed on Massachusetts. No, actually, you know what? Kansas, I'm coming for you.
Oh, shit.
I don't know enough about Kansas other than their basketball program to say anything truthfully. They look like on a map a face, like a chef standing sideways, right? Or that's not Kansas.
I know that's where Toto is
Idaho's
no
over on the
longer.
left. Yeah, literally the most famous thing to come from Kansas was a 1939 movie. So, I'm just kidding.
And then you got
I doubt anyone from Kansas listens to this podcast. That would be a unique one.
Now we've gotten
I
three
doubt
negative
anyone
reviews.
listens to this podcast.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't. But no, usually when I shit talk a state out of love, of course, I get messages telling me like, "No, you're wrong. Come check it out." Like, obviously, I'm joking, but those people defend their state usually. Not Missouri. Missouri, I got more messages of "Yes, we agree," which really threw it off because I was like, "I was joking." No.
So I know that we like to get to some final questions, but I wanted to ask BGG, was there anything else about this drop that you want to plug? It's September 26th at 7:10 p.m. Eastern time. Kind of close.
No,
to
it's not.
4:20
It's
Pacific.
September 17th at 10:26 Eastern time. What are you talking about?
You ain't gonna win.
The drop. Oh, the drop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything about that?
This could be joint number 3. Leave me alone.
Oh, Jesus.
So
I'm fucking dying just hearing that. So is there anything else, BGG, you want to plug about this drop that we haven't covered?
I would say as far the biggest things that I would have left to talk about would be there's only 19 left of the box sets, so that is important to know. And I've had more than 19 people reach out asking me questions about it, specifics, cost, when's it available, all that kind of stuff, details. So I anticipate this is going to go pretty quick. There are also going to be a limited amount of singles of each of them. That's pretty much it. And there's tickets in there, which are also good for a single pack in a future release.
Yeah, I saw that you're having some of each of the single ones, so that's awesome. So you should get the set, and that's okay. Fight everyone for it. I want the wolf pack to show up. Blood is okay. But
do you have this information listed anywhere, so people can go and check it out and read it, so they can see exactly what is coming up?
We'll post information in the Discord as it gets closer to. And then when we release this episode, we'll just put his website in the whatever the words that I put
like
in
it's all up on your website already. That's what I'm trying to ask, I guess.
Yeah, it was up on like the big cartel site, and so
it's up there as a coming soon.
And cool. He's done. You should check out the descriptions. He actually is one of the breeders that will put in the effects of it and their aromas, which is super helpful than just telling me what it was crossed with. So I really appreciate the details he's been putting into each of them. Makes my mouth drool, and I'm just super stoked I get to plant these soon. So yeah, September 26th, get the set. Or if you want to just get some of the individual packs, there's going to be a few of those. That's super exciting. If BGG doesn't have anything else he wants to plug about the pack, I know that Rev, you have a couple sometimes questions you want to ask us. And it gives me a chance to not talk some more.
Absolutely. But before I ask a ridiculous question that I thought long and hard about, I have a question from BGG for specifically BGG so that I can buy myself more time. When describing Frogception V5, has anyone said lime before, or is this all off base?
Can we talk about the lime some more?
No one has said anything about V5 because I think myself and you and maybe one other person are the only people that have smoked it.
Do you get lime at all?
I'll have to visit it to see if I'm actually getting lime.
Interesting. I was just curious. Now, for my only question, Johnny, buy me some more time. Describe that.
Oh, I'm just holding. I was sick of hearing about your goddamn lime. I'm just trying to represent the apple, baby. Woo! That's the only time you're given. And
all right,
wait. Let me ask a question.
Go for it.
I'll ask a random question.
Doesn't count because I'm neurotic, and I'll still ask a question. But go for it.
I know. So I want to ask a random question though. If you could dip your feet in any water on the coast, which coast would you choose?
Of any continent?
Mm-hmm.
Or island or something?
Anywhere, but it has to be a coast.
I guess it depends, man. I could go Costa Rica just off the top of my head because it just ticks a lot of boxes for what I want to do.
Fiji.
But I would like to look at Fiji would be a good one. I'd like to look at a surf report for the next coming, at least week, because it would suck to pick a place and then it just be like completely flat and just be like, I came for one reason. But that's a good question. Thank you for asking it.
How about you, Stoney? Man, that's a good one. Because my initial instinct would be somewhere in the Caribbean, just because that's closer to the equator. But yeah, it'd probably be a coast of some sort of small island. Maybe my place. Maybe some form of transportation to get over to the island. That's just a hop skip away. But yeah, it'd be somewhere in the deep oceans.
What about you, BGG? God, probably a fucking waterfall right next to it.
Fiji.
He said
100% Fiji.
Yeah. I mean, you are limiting me to coasts, so that
I know.
Like
I was going to say water.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd much rather be in ice, crystal clear water. But if I have to be coastal.
What about you, Howling?
So I am not a fan of water in general.
Happiness?
Well, yeah.
You're not a fan of joy?
I am not. So I would have to, I think, since I would not be hanging out in the water or trying to scuba or surf or anything like that, I would probably want to be on the coast of like Alaska or something in the Arctic Ocean and dip my toes into super freezing water while in the middle of like mountains and glaciers and stuff. And that's it. I just need 2 seconds with that. Well, that's all I could handle before frostbite. But that's it. I just want to do that in that setting and I'm done. And that's about as much water as I want.
I want to go to Antarctica.
You did say dip your toes. You did say dip your toes. You did say go for a swim, hang out in it. That's a good.
Although we all know it don't count unless you get to the sack. So.
Unless you have to take the deep breath.
You gotta take the breath.
The autonomic breath.
It's at that moment you decide if you really want to go further or not. Sometimes you
God,
have a real bad day.
That droopy
get there and you're
problem
like, nah.
I've got.
That's old age. But it is a human. It is.
No, I've had that since I was 10 years old. The first time I mooned my mom, my nuts were at my knees. That was the greatest fucking day ever. I can't even hold my tongue.
How do you even come back from
I want to point out. I
the
feel
first time. Let's
BGG,
just take that. Let's just take that apart.
Except for the fact that he keeps coming back. At this
first time,
he is a willing participant in the anarchy that was this circle. So don't
bring it
feel
back
bad
for us,
him.
Brev. Ask your question.
My own fault.
Yeah. All right. Everybody enjoys their own seasons and particular favorites, but I've kind of already asked that, so I'm gonna ask more specifically. What about fall in general do you find best? What is your favorite thing? You don't get to decide if you like fall at all. I know that our buddy Johnny Apple is a fucking Grinch about any holiday, so he hates Halloween, but he still has to answer the question. What is your favorite thing about fall?
I don't know. The leaves are fucking beautiful around here, man. I guess that would be it. Like when it is fall, it is fucking
Perfect. I see. That's a good answer, Johnny. Howling. Thank you, by the way, for leading. You did a wonderful job. You dealt with a lot of insanity tonight, and you put up with it.
Never
I
again.
do want to remind everyone, any angry messages should go to Howling this week. But what would you say, Howling, is your favorite thing about fall?
The favorite thing, maybe it's just the smell in the air, and that's the best way I could sum it. Because I was going to be like, it's cool, it's colder out, the leaves are dying, there's a cool breeze. It's like just this things kind of starting to die back, and
people start lighting their chimney or their fires.
Yeah, and you have the fires going. It's just this general smell. It's the Halloween smell, like, and that's why I like Halloween. Well, a proper Halloween, like that's not like rainy or snowy. Like it's just a good old fall day. Like it's the smell.
When I was younger, I always wanted either a rainy Halloween or like a super cold, wet, stormy one, because we never got them.
Yeah.
So it was always, like the alternative. Just like I've always wanted a white Christmas, but if I actually had to live with snow, I'd go insane. So it's perfection that can't be achieved.
The shop looks the same way inside if it's snowy or not.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put up slightly more decorations in the snow, maybe. Stoney, what is your favorite thing about fall? I was gonna say sorry that you didn't get a chance to talk, but then I forgot that you smoked yourself into a pit. So I really want to shame you for doing that.
I'm not sure if it was 5 minutes or an hour and a half. I mean, it could have been at this point. I could be just as lost as I was at that point. No,
that's just how far BGG is behind.
I get the favorite thing about fall for me. I spend a lot of time out on my porch. It's an enclosed porch, and it faces west. And going out I wake up very early in the morning, sometimes around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I'm almost always out there to watch the sunrise, and it's really one of my favorite parts of the day. Every day is getting to see the beautiful sunshine, and during the fall, like looking forward to seeing it come up. It tends to come up a little bit later, of course, but it's chilly. I'm out there in a jacket, and I'm usually, sipping my coffee, and it's cold enough to just be chilly. And then the warmth of the sun fills me. And I love that part of the fall, because, you wait 2 or 3 months, and then it's just, even when the sun is up, it's still cold, but it's that warmth of the sunshine that fills and kind of washes over me. It's, something that I really look forward to.
My plants hate that part the most. That cold morning, and then it gets nice and warm, and they fucking hate it the most. That fucking dew just sits in them nuggets and ready to rot.
Ruining everything, yeah. BGG. What about you? What's your favorite thing about fall?
I would say my favorite thing of fall, because Halloween's definitely up there in everything going on in the fall. And I agree with Johnny. The fall foliage is amazing up in the Northeast. We do a lot of hiking during the fall. We're not looking for waterfalls. We're just looking for, water in general to hike around. But it's usually to see the foliage, to go out there and just like to Howling's point, the smells and the different things. And the right now, there's so many different mushrooms that are coming. It's just an amazing, amazing time of year. The fall and the spring are probably my two favorite for sure. And before I forget, though, I wanted to say, this is the first episode of YAG, because the first 100 don't count. Now you got on the second 100.
Yeah.
So this is the guest on the first show of YAG. So this is amazing. Thank you guys for having me.
I like that.
He's the guest that's been on the most with one.
With one, yeah. It's my kind of record. I will give you credit. That's a YAG award for and I can't talk. Fuck this shit. Thank you all for answering. I meant to say innovation for anywho. Thank you all for joining us. I guess I didn't answer the question. I would say that, like Howling, the smell is a very big one. In California, where I am, September is generally the hottest month. But so I consider my fall when that's last of the heat wave kind of breaks. So that immediate cooling, and it's like it almost feels like a 20-degree cooling the next day, right? Like it just was with our heat wave. In fact, it was like 22-degree difference. But it starts making way where you start having to wear a jacket in the morning and then the afternoon, which is sort of a bummer. You got to lose the tank tops and everything, but you gain more pockets and stuff, so that's always a benefit. And then typically, generally, the swells come in the winter in SoCal. You get better waves, and so in high school and shit like that, you would look forward to this because the crowds die. The tourists go home, and you start to get everything kind of back towards yourselves. So generally, my favorite thing about fall is just kind of like less people, better everything else, which is generally, it's a terrible thing to say because we very much enjoy people spending money in the local economy. But holy fuck, go home.
You really could have just stood right on this like beautiful surf moment of like, I get the ocean back to myself and I get to reconnect with
people.
No, it's really just fucking tourists. Get out.
They just leave.
The amount of harassing of wildlife that you get to see from tourists, you can't replace. I'll give you that, or like the silly questions. But no, it is like it's kind of growing up. It's always been the better season for surfing, and it always kind of sucked too because you'd have to start putting on wetsuits and stuff and that always sucked. But it was a good balance because it was right before then. It was like the last of the summer. Like they always say, trying to chase the endless summer. That was too cliche even for me. So, does anyone have anything else they'd like to plug? Stoney, did we touch on anything at all that you can remember?
Has it been 7 minutes now or 4?
Yes, we just started doing this again.
Arithmetic. Yep. 101 episodes. No, plug to the community, plug to BGG for all the generosity for all throughout the community and the times that we've been on and the continued and going forward. So big plugs to him. That's where I'm at. This.
Johnny?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
What a respectable answer. Howling, thank you for leading. You did a wonderful job. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. My plug is, you know what? Right back at you, BGG. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for keeping me entertained with your creativity and that little spark of inspiration. And thanks for the one of one wolf pack. I can't wait to get these things in dirt. Thank you.
Wonderful. That was plenty of sucking up, I think. BGG, anything that you would like to plug that you forgot or anything?
I want to plug you guys because it's I've watched your growth, and again, congratulations on the first 100 episodes. You guys, I've been there since the very episode 1. And,
yes, you have.
Johnny needs to do more of those. Johnny. I've enjoyed it.
I'm glad he cut out.
The growth of when you guys are spitfiring and so shout out to you guys and everything you guys are doing for sure.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
I appreciate you always being a good friend and coming on, and I wish you great success. I have nothing else to say.
Well, thanks for everyone.
Oh, listening. You know what? I do. I'm lying. If you
shit.
Wait, if you're listening to this, it's after the pop-up. So I have nothing to say. Adios.
I had to toss that little dig in there.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks,
Peace.
Guys. Later, amigos.
See you.